Welcome to the ESPN Esports studio. I'm Phil Murphy. Stage 3 of the Overwatch League is in the books. And what more can be said about winless Shanghai? Well, plenty. Emily Rand spent some time with Shanghai and has some insight into the team. Emily, let's talk about Shanghai in general. With the addition of Gaguri, Otto, and Fearless for Stage 3, what improvements have you seen?
Yeah, so they got Gaguri, Otto, Fearless, and then Sky, a Chinese support player. And they're, especially with their new tank line, their play has been remarkably improved. They have a lot more versatility and flexibility in terms of what they can do, whereas their previous team really just relied on facilitating undead. There is still a bit of a miscommunication with what they want to do with their tanks and what they want to do with their supports. And they've shuffled their supports around pretty regularly, so I think they're still trying to find some sort of synergy with the support line. But all in all, it's actually, in my opinion, a pretty good improvement.
Emily, you mentioned communication. We all knew that communication would be a challenge for this team between the Chinese Mandarin-speaking coaches and the Korean-speaking players. How is that progressing?
So basically what the setup they have is that their coach is Chinese, and so he'll give, in between games or before games or during scrims, whatever, he'll give his directions and explain everything in Mandarin, and then as those go on, they will have someone right there translating into Korean for the South Korean players. And then additionally, within their comms itself, there are a few players that speak Mandarin and English and Korean, and they actually had surprisingly cleaner comms than I would have thought. So it's a pretty good setup.
Fact of the matter is, through 3 stages, they are 0-30. But despite that record, their attitude is good, their focus is on improvement. Walk us through the mindset and the atmosphere around the team.
So yeah, the team is actually super funny. They're very loud. It's full of a lot of kind of outgoing and fun personalities. They're a lot of fun, and I was actually surprised at how clear their communication was, especially for all the different languages that are kind of being spoken at all times. So that's another thing that's impressive, and probably another indicator of the fact that they all get along fairly well.
All right, I want you to look at the landscape heading into Stage 4. Against which opponent is it likeliest Shanghai will get its first win?
Oh, that's rough. It's a tough question. You kind of have to still look at the bottom teams that are also struggling with similar issues for different reasons than Shanghai. So obviously Shanghai still have some very obvious communication gaps, especially between their tanks and their supports. You have other teams like Dallas who have some communication gaps. You have teams like Florida who sometimes also have a few positioning errors with their support line. So I would have to pick one of those teams. It's no offense to either of them. It's just that kind of all three are dealing with some similar communication issues, despite the fact that the catalyst and factors involved would be different.
As always, Emily, thanks so much for all the insight. Keep it here on ESPN.com/esports for all the top coverage from Overwatch League and the rest in the world of esports.